on Twitch, because we know we like to do that. Okay, Twitch and YouTube are live as well. My mom is here. Yeah, she's currently on the couch resting. I don't know, with Cindy probably. Yes, Cindy is right next to her. Cindy has been like a little tail to my mom, following her literally everywhere. It's very cute. It's very cute. Yeah, so let's wait a little bit for people. Today we just walked so much. So much. Also, fun reversal of roles. Normally I steal my mom's clothes. This time my mom's baggage got delayed, so she doesn't have any clothes. And this time I get to dress my mom, which is kind of fun and very weird, because normally I'm the one who's like, oh, what is this thing? Can I take it? I am 100% trying to steal her bag, but I know that she's not going to let me, because it's one of those once in a lifetime bag, you know. Hi, James. Hi, James. Hi, Carlos. But yeah, it's been a very fun role reversal. It's cute. I also feel like I'm turning into my mom in terms of like certain fashion senses. Like we went to get some. We went like. No, the espresso is not to her liking. We need to go get stronger espresso. Then espresso is not doing it, and her coffee beans are in the baggage that's delayed. So obviously we have a problem. And today I took her to an Italian cafe. Hi guys. I took her to my favorite Italian place, the one that I posted on my in one of the videos, like come eat lunch with us at an Italian cafe. And my mom said that it was good, as in like it was well made, but it was kind of like the acidic sort, and it was not up to her liking. She was not a fan. So yeah, I will have to tell the Italians that, you know, that they did not do a good enough job for a Ukrainian woman. So there is that. Then wonder how long her luggage will be delayed. Well, it was supposed to get in today, and they were supposed to send it over today, but we haven't heard from them yet. So hopefully. Anastasia got me a gift for my birthday, and it was the cutest freaking thing ever, because it was a salt and pepper shaker from Jonathan Adler, which is like this very nice, super unaffordable homeware designer, unless you're buying salt and pepper shakers. But they are very cute, except they came broken. Oh, hi, Karine. Hi, Crazy Cat. Hi, Rye. So I will know, but Vasily's luggage was with a different company. Vasily's luggage was American Airlines, and we had to like stand in line. We had to like wait. I'm from Ukraine. I'm from Ukraine, but so Vasily flew in with American Airlines, and hi Tammy, дякую. Vasily flew in American Airlines, and American Airlines, or any American Airlines, literally, not just AA, they are garbage. And my mom flew in with Lufthansa, which is a European company. And in order to get Vasily's luggage back, we had to like stand in line, go back to the airport. We had to go to the counter. We had to deal with this stuff with my mom's luggage. We scanned a barcode on a Lufthansa thing, and they had like an app pop up, and you could choose like the model, make, whatever, and you just report it, and that was it. Like you don't have to call anybody, you don't have to stand in any lines. They are supposed to contact you, but you know, they did not. So not yet, but yeah. And my mom arrived before the package that my mom and my dad sent me, and she still isn't letting me know what it is, yet she's looking for it every day. She's laughing currently at me. But yeah. So for those of you who might be new, my mom came to visit me from Ukraine. I haven't seen her in 4 years. My dog hasn't seen her in 2 years. My dog saw my mom before I my dog saw my mom more recently than I did, and yeah, so that's fun. But my dog is freaking out. She loves my mom. I mean, I do too. You should have seen her face right now. But yeah, but we had like a good day today. My mom doesn't even hate New York. My mom doesn't even hate New York this time. Ну, це цікаве, дуже цікаве слово, але так, це новини про Україну, і ми кожного вечора я читаю новини за те, що сталося, і вся моя аудиторія дуже добре знає все, що відбувається в Україні, і дуже цікавиться. But yeah, basically, yeah, Lufthansa is normally awesome, although my mom's, I used to fly Lufthansa from New York to Lviv, and they used to be really good. My mom did say that they got a little worse with time, but But we had a pretty good day today. We walked a lot. We walked maybe like the entirety of Manhattan. Synya. Did my dog Zoom chat with my mom without me? No, my dog is from Ukraine. She's from Mykolaiv. I haven't been home in a very long time due to an inability. Long story, but not because I don't want to, because I can't. And my dog I got her in Ukraine, and she was 2 months old when we got her, and so she lived with my mom. I lived with my mom I did live with my mom most of my life until I moved to New York. My dog lived with my mom. For the 2.5 months until she was able to come to New York, because basically dogs can't fly. Oh, hi, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that's so cute, the little doggy. But yeah, basically like my dog lived with my mom because you can't fly a dog into the United States until they're 4.5 months old and have like all of their shots. So yeah, so she was living with my mama. Therefore, my dog saw my mom more recently than I did, and I saw my mom in 2018 when she visited last. So we are having fun, and we're planning our road trip because, it's nice. My mom gets to have a little bit of peace without air raid sirens. Which, did you turn that off on your phone, Mom? Mama, ти виключила ці сирени на своєму телефоні? Okay. Yeah. Слава Богу. It's cool that you tell people in the world what Russian pigs are doing. Thank you for this. No, of course. I mean, that's the thing. I don't think that it's something cool to do. I just think that, since I can't be in Christina, since I can't be home in Ukraine helping out physically there, I'm just trying to do whatever I can from here. So this is where I feel like I can apply myself, and I'm hoping that it's helping. Did Mom make it okay? Yes, Mom is here. Mom, do you want to come introduce yourself to everybody? Well, come say hello. Mom.
Hello.
No, come show yourself. Mother. Wait. This is my mom.
Hello.
This is my mom. She's also small. Like me. Mom. Hi, Mom. Hello, Mom.
Hi.
Do you stream to other platforms, to YouTube and TikTok? Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
What do you have me? Yeah, so this is my mom. Her name is Natalia, or Natalie, if you'd like. Yes, she came to visit me. Hey, Mom. She came to visit me for 2 weeks, and we're going to go to Virginia, and we are going to go to maybe a beach in South Carolina. And I'm turning into my mom because today I bought the most my mom thing on the planet, which is like a scarf. And you might be alone on Twitch because Twitch is the newest platform that I have. Like, as in, I added Twitch just maybe because there could be more people who'd be interested in Ukraine. But I'm mostly on TikTok, and YouTube is also recent, but quite developed. But Twitch is not yet. Yeah. Well, you're about to turn 28. That's old to some. Я типу кажу, що це що я перетворилася в тебе, і типу купила собі найбільш твій цей. І мені кажуть, що ну тобі вже майже 28. Тобі вже пора. Привіт. Бачиш, дуже багато людей вивчає українську з моїх підписників. Yeah. So yeah, this is my mommy. And yeah, my mommy. She's smaller than me. So I'm 5'2". My mom is shorter than me.
Не так сильно. Smaller.
Тим менше. She's very compact. Very compact. Yeah. So 28 is plenty young, speaking as a 28-year-old as of June 23. Oh my gosh. Carlos, why didn't you tell us it was your birthday? Excuse me? But yeah, this is Mom. I just wanted you guys to meet her because you always ask about her. So this is Mommy. If you have any questions to Mom, please ask them now or forever stay silent. Like at the wedding. I teach English because I'm Ukrainian. Oh, that's cool. Can't wait for your NBA career. Well, we as Ukrainians are not known for being very big in NBA. Мені кажуть, що ти дуже молодо виглядаєш. Did Vasil meet your mom yet? Yeah, he also saw my mom more recently than I did because he was traveling through Lviv. For Mom, what is your most embarrassing Yulia story? Боже, яка в тебе є історія про мене, яка найбільш, не пронизлива, як це, типу, ти розумієш, що я маю на увазі? Look, she's thinking.
Я навіть так зразу не знаю.
Подумай, може не бути сучасна.
Ну так я розумію, що не сучасно.
My mom is thinking.
Не знаю. Щось так не можу навіть згадати. Ти щось можеш згадати? Я не можу.
Я не знаю, наприклад, коли я з саєнтологом зустрічалась, пам'ятаєш, коли минулого разу з Настю приїжджала, цей Wyatt.
І що?
Він саєнтолог був. Я це тільки потім знала. Мама навіть не знала, окей. My mom is like too, like if you ask my dad, he would probably give you a lot of very, very interesting stuff. Like, my dad is such a sweet person. Today, my mom was showing him a video of me and she was like, look at how good she looks and look at how like whatever, we wear the same size, blah, blah, blah. My dad is like, yeah, she just needs to work on her arms. My mom was like, her arms are fine. And he's like, no, she just needs to do some exercises. Oh, someone says, ти, напевно, була хороша дівчинка, то немає історії. No, I put my parents through a ringer in high school.
Пішли всі етапи.
My mom, no, trust me, I put my parents through some very interesting stuff in high school. I've skipped school. I've fabricated some of my mom's signatures for some reports. Very, very creatively. This one time, my teacher called my mom. Знаєш, яку історію можеш розказати? Пам'ятаєш, як я прогуляла школу 2 тижні підряд, і потім подзвонила пані Надія, я прийшла додому, ти сиділа в мене в комп'ютерному кріслі.
Ти розкажи, я розкажу.
Ти пам'ятаєш, напевно, краще, ніж я.
Ні, я не дуже пам'ятаю.
Basically, I skipped school for 2 weeks straight because I was in my rebellious phase in 8th grade. Okay, and my teacher was like, and I told my teacher that I was sick, and she was like, "Well, since it's been like 2 weeks, I need your parents' signature." I came home. I asked my mom to show me her signature so I could, like, make a similar one because it was beautiful. To be fair, my signature looks just like my mother's technically, but hers is a little different. And so I went and I copied the signature and I signed the thing. Okay. And then my grade report came in because it was like really, really crap because I've missed 2 weeks of school. And I needed to do this again. And I signed it. And my teacher had noticed that these signatures look nothing alike because, you're copying someone else's signature. And so she called my mother to confirm that I'm still sick, or to ask her how I'm doing because, poor sick child. And my mom, I think that my mom told my teacher that I'm not sick and that it was all propaganda and made up situation. I come home. My mom calls me. I'm like hanging out with my friends, and she's like, "Hey, you want to come home for like a little bit? Come home." I come back. My mom is sitting in my computer chair in my bedroom and literally turns around in the swivel chair and she's like, "So?" And I was begging her not to tell my dad. She didn't. She was a very good parent. Because my dad would have murdered me quite literally. But yeah, that was my very fun story. I thought I got away with it. Thank you, Rue. I thought I got away with it, but the evil chair turn. Oh my god, I was so evil. She was sitting there with like a backlit, with the, with the... Це ж був якась 6 година, типу сонце сідало також. Я пам'ятаю це так. I remember it so vividly. It was terrifying, okay? Because, like, to be fair, my mom, like, I wasn't scared of my mom because my mom usually was a pretty reasonable human being. The person that I was scared of was my father because he was way less reasonable, especially when it came to grades. He expected me to have all gold medals everywhere, win competitions, be a star athlete, which I totally wasn't, have all A's in every class because he just, he's smart. I have to be smart, okay, because I'm a product of him. So I wasn't scared of my mom. Whoa. Wow. Oh my God. That is so pretty. Thank you so much. Did you see that? That was so pretty. Thank you. Thank you, Eat Life. But yeah, so basically I was scared of my father, and my mom used to blackmail me with telling my father. That's how our process of bringing me up. Ти ж ніколи, типу, мене, як це, ти мене лякала тільки татом. My mom was like, fine. I was like, fine, I won't tell your dad, but... Beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you, Eat Life, you. Thank you. Oh, my mom is gonna go get some water. Yeah, I was like, can I go drink some water? But yeah, my mom said that she used to. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm really glad that it's helpful. But she was saying that she used to bring me up and discipline me. My mom has this look. She's gonna kill me right now. But so me and my mom's younger sister, aka my aunt, who is kind of like, their age difference is bigger than ours. My mom and Anastasia are 18 years apart, and I'm 9 years apart with Anastasia. So naturally, we're kind of very like sisterly blurred lines here. But so Anastasia and I have this there's this look that my mom has, and it is burning you with lasers through inside, and you feel the pain, okay, while she is looking at you. And my mom doesn't have to yell. The thing is, like, I don't remember my mom ever yelling at me because she just has that one look, and that one look is terrifying. It is terrifying. And I've like noticed that the older I get, the more proficient I become in that one look that is very terrifying when I'm upset or annoyed or I'm very angry. And Yeah, she basically just disciplined me. I remember I pierced my septum when I was 13 years old. Пам'ятаєш, як я пробила собі ніс всередині? Face. Her face. So I pierced my septum when I was like 13 or something. And I was hiding it. And I bought like the piercing that I bought for it was like inside and you could like roll it in. And it was this clear rubber thing. And the two balls, they were metal, right? But the rubber thing was clear. So it was really hard to notice it. And so I'm sitting in the kitchen. I'm eating my food. My mom is like doing her work, whatever. And I sneeze. And this thing rolls out of my nose. And I'm like, oh crap. And I put it back, and I think she didn't notice. And then I continue eating, and she's staring at me, and she's like, take it out and never put it back in. And I was like, oh my God, okay, I'll never put it back in. I've never in my life been so scared of anything. Literally, it like laser beams went right through me, went straight into the bathroom, took it out, and in fact, never put it back in. It was so freaking terrifying. So yeah, my dad would have yelled at me. He would have yelled at me. He would have punished me. He would have had like all of these consequences. My mom literally just had a look. All she had to do was just to say something with that look on, and I was terrified till the rest of my days. In fact, when I was getting this piercing, I just remembered my mom with the freaking septum piercing, which is like the inside of the nose piercing, and I was just like, well, should I even do this? Like, am I adult enough at 26 to decide to get a nose piercing? But yeah, that look will forever stay with me, and it'll never go anywhere. So yeah. Mother's the most terrifying person on earth. Yep. Quite literally, yes. Oy. Okay, well, how are you guys today? Let's Hi Lauren. Sorry, I've missed so many highs. Hello everyone. I didn't mean to miss it. I was just super deep into the stories. So well, for those of you who don't know, I'm running this simultaneously also on YouTube and on Twitch. And so if you'd like to, you can also watch it on YouTube. And please subscribe to my YouTube, because if you miss the news cycle, then you can always find it on YouTube because they're all saved. Also, hi Faye, good to see you. They're all saved, and also this is my backup account, while my main account on TikTok Live is banned because well, first time it was banned because I called Russia an terrorist country, which it is. I'm just not going to say that word again because I don't want to get banned again. But it's quite frankly really, really upsetting that they would ban me for that. And the second time I got banned from live for literally no reason other than my live was titled Ukraine News. There were a million trolls, and they reported my live while I was literally putting a Band-Aid on, and I guess putting a Band-Aid on and talking about it is offensive. But anyways, I'll be back on my main account on August 3rd, and if you don't follow my main account and or you like YouTube, please consider following me on YouTube. It is linked in my link in bio, and also it's at Yulia on YouTube, or just it's Yulia without the it's. Oh no, Barb, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? If mom has her coffee, mom doesn't have her coffee. Her coffee's in her suitcase. So we're in for a couple of very interesting days. She's not very satisfied with her lack of coffee. Yeah, Vasil's protests were yelling. Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm sorry to hear that there was a lot of drama, and my condolences. Hi, did Mama not get her suitcase as well? No, Mama's suitcase got delayed. Mama and I today, so before I start the news, yeah, my mom is there. Before I start the news, I don't know if you guys know this brand. It's called Zadig and Voltaire. It's like this French brand, and it's normally incredibly not affordable. But we stumbled into as Zadig and Voltaire. Sorry, my eye hurts. My mom met Vasil before. She thinks he's nice. She met him in Ukraine. He stayed over. He stayed the night over because he was turned away at the border. But my so we were walking around, and this is a little fashion moment, and we stumbled into Zadig and Voltaire sale, and it was the last day of this. It was a sample sale, and it was the last day of the sample sale. So on top of the fact that it was ridiculously cheap because it was a sample sale, but also it was the last day of the freaking sample sale. They had like sales on top of sales on top of sales, and funny thing, I love that brand, but it's so incredibly it's like so incredibly expensive. Anastasia was visiting me last year, and I was at a store with her at Zadig Voltaire store, and there was a sale at that store already. And I found this jacket that I loved so much, but it was like on sale for $800, and we were both like, this is a joke. And so today we're walking around the sample sale, and I see this jacket, and I look at the price tag on jackets, and they're $100, and then there is also 25% off, and I am like, are you kidding me? I found my jacket a year later for literally I feel like less than Zara pricing for jackets. And I was like, yes. So yeah, that was a very, 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 very lucky find. And I got a birthday present for myself. I can't believe she doesn't have pronouns in her bio. She's a liberal fool. Oh my god. You people. I love your cover up. It's beautiful. Thank you. It was also on the same sale for like a very, 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 very incredibly like cheap. And it's so soft. It's so soft. So I got myself things, but I will show you the jacket. Yes, I will show you the jacket. It's nothing special, to be fair. I just love that jacket. Huh? Yeah. Huh? Кому-то надо, знаешь. Или меня там в зеркале видно, не знаю. Okay, so this is the... Wait. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. But this is the jacket. It's like nothing too crazy, but it's like oversized, and it has these things. So technically, if I wanted it to be like, I could do it like this. I could do this. I wanted it to be super big because I want to wear it with sweaters and stuff, and it's like really oversized and really big. I mean, this is like, I'm a 34, 36, 38, 40. So this is like 3 sizes too big, but I love how big it is because they did have my size, but I was like, no, I want it to be very big. I want it to be like, kind of a man's jacket look. And yes, so this is my thing. Thank you. And I'm so happy. Like, it's not worth $800, but like it is definitely worth the soup. That it's worth like what I paid for it. Mom is here. Yeah, you missed Mom. Mom was just here. Oh my gosh, you're building your coffee bar. That's so awesome. Thank you, Karine. And Maddie, you missed Mom. Mom is here. Mom is, well, you. Mom is, Mom is sitting on. Mommy, could you say hello again? Mommy is like, fine. She just changed. Oh, and Sephora gave me a birthday present too today because I'm a Sephora person. So I'm very birthday presenty today. Oh, this is Mom. I'm already changed. Mom of studio.
Mom of studio.
Yeah, so this is Mom. Mom, do you know any Ukrainian songs? Because, like, but I don't mean Vakarchuk. We all know Vakarchuk already. Something like, something recent. Щось таке, що недавно вийшло.
Недавно вийшло, ну, Червона калина.
No, so no. Червона калина, everybody also knows. Mama Yulia, Natalia, Mama Yulia. Say, my mom's name is Natalia, or like Natalie, whichever one works for you. Hi, Mom again.
Мене щось таке було, мені щось подобалось.
Тому що ми завжди перед новинами включаємо якусь українську
Зараз
пісню.
чекаю.
I'm asking my mom to give us a Ukrainian song that she likes, because, you know, and before we start the news, we always play a Ukrainian song.
Зараз чекаю, поки я таке.
Червона калина похилилася.
Є десь наші українські.
Library, she is. Кажуть, в тебе дуже гарна посмішка. She says thank you, Skylar.
А є остання така дуже, ну, вона така дуже, це,
Хто?
якби, сиплю тобі в очі, сиплю проти ночі.
Сиплю
Буде тобі враже,
тобі.
так, як відьма
О,
скаже.
оце? Енджі Крейда?
Угу. Сію тобі в очі, сію проти ночі. Ну, тут така ніби відьмацька там.
Чекай. Враже?
Угу.
Okay, this is my mom.
Ну, це останнє.
Thank you, Juju.
Сію тобі в очі, сію проти ночі, буде тобі враже, так як відьма скаже, скільки сел в землю впало зерен жита, стільки разів буде тебе враже вбито, стільки враже півень вночі кукуріка, стільки днів.
It's a witchy song. It's a witchy song against the occupiers. Thank you, Matt. Our similarities is I get my jawline from my mom. Look at the jawline. My jawline is literally nothing compared to hers. It's like this. I really like this song. Let's see, you can play. Заклинання, напевно. Hi, Walter, good. can be the unofficial music selector for the channel, yeah? They кажуть, що ти можеш бути неофіційним діджеєм на каналі. It's in the playlist. I already added. Yes, I will add my mom's suggestions to the playlist. У мене є просто плейлист, який я докидаю пісні, де, кожного разу, я думаю, починаємо. Oh, that's awesome, Karine. This song is like a witchy spell against Russians, literally. Against the Russian troops. But it's so like dancey, you know? If you knew. Basically says that like they won't find peace when they're gone because of what they've been doing to our country. And it's like it's a chant basically, but it's a new like cool hip song. It's just like a witchy kind of like spell song. Vasil came back from the protest, but he came back home, he did not bring his keys. And so he was locked out, so we were luckily on our way back home. And while he was sitting out there waiting for us to come back, he got invited to one of our neighbors' like birthday parties or something like that, so he went there. So yeah, he's back from protesting, but look at him making friends. I need to get better about those keys. He's good at that. Yeah. So yeah, this was the song. And now we're at the portion of the news where I read the news. Also, кожного разу, коли я читаю Лаврова, Путіна або ще якихось російських цих I read it like this. Because how else would they be speaking? Like, what do you mean? This is Orkish. I call it Orkish language. Катя каже, пісня заговорка.
Так, правильно, пісня заговорка.
The song and the music is catchy. Yeah. Any positive news regarding the battlefield? Yes, HIMARS is working really, really well. Is the positive news regarding the battlefield? Like Ukrainians are ready to take Kherson back. We're really steadily fighting through the front line in Kherson. Oh, maybe you can tell me what you know because you know a lot. Які новини за сьогодні, за сьогодні? Ти читала щось? Останні, щось, що ти чула про передову, можливо. Я також читаю Україну зараз, але може ти чула щось про передову?
Ні, такого щось нового, глобального.
Але в останній...
Знову бомбили
Миколаїв і Мелітополь. But yeah, we have 83 updates today, and hi Luann. Mom says hi too, I'm sure as well. She just said hi like 55 times. So, okay, so while Mom is reading her updates, I'm gonna read updates to you, and if Mom finds something interesting, she'll let me know. Okay, so the invaders try to conduct assault actions in different directions, but without any success. Morning summary of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. Invaders shelled Nikopol and the Chornogorivka community with Grad MLRS at night, head of the Dnipropetrovsk Army, Valentin Reznichenko. In Nikopol, one private house was destroyed. 15 private houses and about the same number of outbuildings were damaged. The power grid was put out of order. Up to 1,000 people were left without electricity supply. Preliminary, there were no casualties. There were no casualties or destruction in the Chornogorivka community either. Don't shoot here. Russian propagandists banned showing the site of the terrorist attack in Olenivka. Russian invaders banned journalists from showing the scene of the crime in the colony in Olenivka, Donetsk region, where they unalived more than 50 Ukrainian soldiers. When the reporter returned the camera, one of the Russians said, "Don't shoot here." The corresponding remark can be clearly heard in the video published on social networks. Commentators suggested that it was because evidence of the Russian involvement in the attack could be found there. This is what that looks like. That like voice says, wait, don't shoot there. So it's basically like this is what happened in Olenivka. Those Azov soldiers that Russians were saying that Ukrainians with HIMARS were basically blowing up our own, but it was mines, and we have a conversation that we intercepted between Russians basically planning the whole thing out. Also, thank you, Radio. Radio was fun. Oh, hi, good to see you. Radio was fun. Do you follow me on my main account? Because I never see you there, and I only see you when I'm on the backup. But yeah, so basically it was intercepted, and we know that obviously Russians planned it out. Really? Maybe I'm just confusing something, but I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you is what I'm trying to say. Sorry, that was a very convoluted way of saying that. Fire damage in Olenivka not inherent to HIMARS, according to the Institute for the Study of War. Analysts noted that the Russians are lying about the use of the US MLRS to destroy the colony with prisoners in Olenivka. Kremlin-backed publications publish videos of the detention center that show fire damage, but not the kind that HIMARS could have struck, the report said. The researchers also report that Russia is, thank you, Kay, that Russia is exiling propagandists to the occupied territories to prepare pseudo-referendums. The possibility of a Ukrainian counterattack on occupied Kherson may hinder Russian attempts to prepare the referendums on annexation and force Kherson residents to register on Russian passports. In addition, according to the Institute, the enemy continues fighting north of Kharkiv to prevent our troops from reaching the Russian border. The invaders also attempted a ground landing in the Kherson region. The fighting continues. Also, Radio was fun. This is my mom. She just got here. Because I know that you just got here too. So, for everybody who just got here, this is my mama. Red Cross offered assistance in evacuation of wounded Azov people in Olenivka. The International Committee for the Red Cross has offered assistance in evacuating the wounded and donating medicine, protective gear, and forensic materials in Olenivka. Our priority now is to ensure that the wounded receive life-saving treatment and that the bodies of the dead are treated with dignity. We have requested access to determine the health and conditions of all the people who were on the ground at the time of the attack. All prisoners of war, wherever they're held, are protected under international humanitarian law, the ICRC said in a statement. So here is the thing. I'm happy that Red Cross is trying to do something, but also, honestly, I completely do not trust them because Red Cross opened shop in Russia, in Rostov, to encourage Ukrainians from Mariupol to come there because there are safe conditions there. So they basically encouraged forced evacuations, and they were working hand in hand with Russia. So it's kind of like, you know what, stay out of it. I would rather it be the UN or something the UN is useless too, but I would rather, where is the UN? Why is the UN not offering to evacuate all of the people? Because it's a humanitarian catastrophe and Russians just blew up a facility with prisoners of war right after a video was leaked with a soldier literally being mutilated. So it's kind of like, why? Where are you? Where are you, United Nations? What are you united for? One person was killed and 6 more wounded as a result of the nighttime shelling of Mykolaiv. Head of the Mykolaiv Army, Vitaly Kim. Multi-story buildings were also damaged. Invaders shelled Slavyansk again during the night, said Vadim Lyakh, the city's mayor. This time, the bus station and neighboring buildings were hit. Fortunately, there were no casualties or injuries. Okay. Fortunately, there were no casualties or injuries. Yeah. This is Slavyansk. Ніхто не постраждав. Ну, це тобі на всякий випадок. Якщо ти не чула, але це Слов'янськ. Yeah, so also the soldier who did the heinous act of mutilation has actually not been identified. There were a couple of channels saying that he was, but then it turned out that it was a different guy that just looked very much alike. So we don't actually know the name of the man. AFU shot down an enemy Su-25 yesterday. On July 29th, in the Donetsk region, Sieczyslaw paratroopers shot down an armored attack aircraft of the invaders using the Igla manpads. Air raid alert across all Ukraine. Also, when we were out on a walk today, it was about, I want to say 1 p.m. We were having coffee, and my dad texted us that there was an air raid alert. And then it went off about 15 minutes later, so it was a short one, but still. Armed forces of Ukraine neutralized Russian reconnaissance group operating near Verkhnokamensk in Donetsk region. Head of the Luhansk Army, Serhiy Haidai. Our fighters discovered the reconnaissance group in time, inflicted a fire defeat on it, and forced it to retreat. The enemy withdrew in 5 more directions from where they made attempts to break through the defenses of the Ukrainians. However, the Russians continue to destroy settlements with cannon and rocket artillery. Details of the fire in Enerhodar tonight. Near the hotel OP Zayez, 1 unit of Russian ZIL, UAZ, and Gazelle was destroyed. There was a small fire on the first floor of the hotel. Firefighters could not start their duties due to explosions of ammunition. Windows were shattered in high-rise buildings nearby. According to available information, there were no casualties among civilians, but in the houses located nearby, the windows were shattered, said the mayor of the city, Dmitry Orlov. Also, I have another personal story. So I have a middle name. My middle name is ridiculously long, and it is a middle name that my mom, she's staring at me so judgmentally right now, is ridiculously long, and it's incredibly hard for most Americans to write down, read, pronounce. Like it's a lot. It's just a lot, and it's a very old school name, and it's my great-grandma's, my mom's grandma's name, and she wanted to name me that as a first name. And then, thank fuck, my dad came in and interfered and said, no, we're going to call her Yulia. This is one thing I'm incredibly grateful for. But ти ж хотіла мене називати моїм другим ім'ям.
Ні.
Мені казали все життя, що ти мене хотіла назвати...
Я казала, що мусить бути обов'язково.
Ага. Ну, мені не так казали. Anyways, but it doesn't matter. But anyways, basically, I have that second name. And so I was always telling my mom that when I get like my American passport, if I ever do, there is an option of changing your name, and I'm going to take it out because it's like a pain in the ass. It's so painful. Because it's just like every time I have to go to a bank, I have to spell out 2 names because it's through a dash. And it's in Ukraine, it's like the middle name is not separate. It's through a dash, and it's considered a middle name. Nobody's going to call you 2 names if you have a name through a dash. And here it's considered 1 name. So all people are like Yulia dash and like the name. And I'm just like, oh my God. So it's a lot. And I was like, oh, I'm going to take it out. And she was like, no, this is a name that like protects you. It's your great grandma's name. My mom was like super not down with it. I was like, okay, fine. What we're going to do is I'm just going to keep the first letter of the name. And then I'm going to like, I'm just going to take out the rest. So like the letter still stands. And so today we're on the train and we realize that the first letter of my middle name is Z. And so there is kind of like no way that I'm keeping your middle name, and I'm definitely not keeping the whole thing. I cannot shorten it to Z. So we have a little bit of a conundrum here because we both agreed that as just not going to work. A capital Z is not going to be in my passport. Like Mama's like, yeah, it's basically as if you just put a swastika on your passport. And I'm like, yeah, we're not doing that. So we found the closest American name to that name, and it starts with an X. So we're just gonna do that. We're gonna do the closest American name, and we're gonna just this is like what we're gonna do. I just don't want to say my middle name on air because like I can post it on Patreon later if anybody's interested, and I can write to you what we came up with, but I don't want to say it on air because you never know how many crazy people might be like sitting there and not saying anything and then just like fucking me. So yeah, for personal protection purposes, my middle name is not is not public. So yeah. So I'm not keeping the letter Z because you know it's like never gonna be an okay letter for Ukrainians. Exasperated grunt. Your middle name is an exasperated grunt. I know, James. It's not about that. It's just I trust people on Patreon. I don't trust random people who could be lurking in the background here. You never know. There could be like trolls or someone. There are no trolls on Patreon. Yes, I did hear about that. I have a video about that. It's awful, and I don't understand how the world is not intervening and how the world is not giving us like 300-kilometer HIMARS and why they're not doing that. Oh, really? That's cool, Juju. And why the world is not. It's atrocious. The Russian embassy in the UK went nuts. On their official Twitter, they wrote, Azov militants deserve to be executed, but not shot, not hanged, because they're not real soldiers. But not shot, but hanged because they're not real soldiers. They deserve a humiliating death. We remind you that this is the official account of the embassy. Мама, ти це чула?
Що?
Офіційний аккаунт російського посольства в Британії написав отаке в себе на Твіттері. Азов боевики заслуживают расстрела. Но не расстрела, а повешения, потому что они не настоящие солдаты. Они заслуживают унизительной смерти. Але на офіційному аккаунті їх посольства в Британії, прикинь?
І що? Що в них немає клепки?
My mom is saying if they don't have a brain, what can I do with them?
Ще про них, що ще про них не зрозуміло.
Та нічого.
Про них недожилення всієї нації.
My mom says that they're all suffering from not enough oxygen to their brain, and that seems to be like a thing for the entire nation. She's just like, I'm not surprised. It's like they're a bit, they're lacking the oxygen supply to the brain. Means will soon appear to strengthen our defense capabilities, Ukrainian Defense Minister Alexei Reznikov after talks with Pentagon Chief Lloyd Austin. According to Reznikov, the U.S. Secretary of Defense has returned with good news. Yermak reacted to the tweet of the Russian embassy in the UK by saying this. In the 21st century, only savages and terrorists can tell at the diplomatic level that people deserve to be hanged for nothing, the head of the presidential office wrote. Yeah, oxygen deprivation. As a result of the night shelling of Kharkiv, the central building and the sports hall of one of the schools were destroyed. The second strike fell into the ground near a previously destroyed building in the Kholodnogorsk district. According to preliminary information, there were no victims or injured. Oh, hi, Diane. Good to see you. In the occupied Alchevsk, Luhansk region, something has been burning and detonating since the morning. Hi, Victoria. At the end of the charity match between Everton Liverpool and Dynamo Kyiv, an English volunteer who helps Ukraine and IDPs came on the field. Paul Stretton works for Liverpool City Council and deserved to replace Dele Alli in the 89th minute to score a penalty against Denis Boyko. Fans at the stadium applauded Stretton, and the referee immediately organized a penalty kick for him, which he converted. Paul was very happy taking part in this fight, although his goal was not counted. Recall that Dynamo will play its next match in the third round of the Champions League qualification. On August 3rd, Mircea Lucescu's team will meet Sturm in Lodz, Poland in the first match. The meeting starts at 21:00. So this is soccer news. Ukraine is playing in the Premier League, the Dynamo Kyiv, which is the team from Kyiv. U.S. Congressman Victoria Sprotz called on the UN to stop the grain agreement until Ukraine receives proper security guarantees. A grain agreement that does not have proper implementation mechanisms can cost Ukraine dearly. As you're well aware, a few hours after the signing of this agreement, Russia fired cruise missiles at the Ukrainian port of Odessa. This once again confirms that Russia cannot be trusted, and it actually denies this agreement, Sprotz said in the letter. She added that she was disappointed by the lack of active participation of the organization in stabilizing the situation in Ukraine. Actually, this is I fully and dearly agree with her, because what in the hell? I'm so confused as to why the UN is still saying that this agreement is valid, provided that Russia genuinely violated it less than 24 hours into it. And I'm happy that at least someone is speaking out on its behalf and is like, hey, this is not an agreement. This is just a piece of paper that you're not even abiding by. So I'm happy that she said something. Update on Ukraine from British intelligence as of July 30th, 2022. It is likely that Ukraine has successfully repelled small-scale Russian assaults from the long-established front line near Donetsk city in the Donbass. In the Kherson area, Russian forces have highly likely established 2 pontoon bridges and a ferry system to compensate for the fact that nearby bridges have been damaged in recent strikes. Across the newly occupied territories in southern Ukraine, Russian-installed authorities are highly likely under increasing pressure from Moscow to consolidate their control over the region and prepare for referendums on joining Russia later in the year. Russia currently classes the occupied areas as under interim civil military administration. Local authorities are likely coercing the population into disclosing personal details in order to compose voting registers. The death toll as a result of yesterday's shelling of a bus stop in Mykolaiv has increased. The mayor of the city, Sienkiewicz, 2 more men died. Hi, Dave. Good to see you. And thank you, Maddie. Yeah, of course they forge voting registers. Appalled by reports of Russia killing dozens of Ukrainian POWs who surrendered, were registered by ICRC, and were in Russia's legal protection under international humanitarian law. EU condemns in the strongest possible terms atrocities committed by Russia, says Joseph Borrell. The thing is the EU condemns it. Oh, yeah. Oh, you condemn it. That's nice. What are you going to do about it? If you condemn it so much, what are you going to do about it? Because you keep condemning things and you keep feeling for us. But you keep not doing anything. So what are you going to do while you condemn it? I'm curious. Because so far you have been really feeling bad for us and condemning it. And you really, you feel us. You feel our pain. You understand. It must be very difficult. Really crappy situation, truly. We feel for you. So much. Feel so much. In Zaporizhzhia City Hospital number 9 and the emergency and ambulance hospital received backup power systems that will save lives in the absence of electricity supply. The cost of the systems is 20 million hryvnias. They were handed over by Metinvest together with the Rinat Akhmetov Foundation. Critical departments of hospitals, traumatology, surgery, trauma, surgery, resuscitation, as well as key equipment, oxygen stations, Angiographs, blood transfusion, and MRI machines are connected to the new backup supply system, which is great. That's great news because I feel like one of the worst things is that we can never control whether our equipment is going to be working, because what if we get shelled, and then what then? Can't do anything, things are just not going to work. Nancy Pelosi's flight started from Andrews Air Force Base. The speaker plans to visit the island of Taiwan. To protect her, the U.S. Navy put forward a strike group led by the aircraft carrier Ronald Reagan. Earlier in China, they warned that they would shoot down a plane with the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives if she arrived in Taiwan. And this means the beginning of a big war. Thank you, Nazar. The flight of the aircraft is monitored online by 20,000 people. I'd be terrified to get on that plane. Like, go Nancy Pelosi, honestly, because China literally said they would take down the flight with the Speaker of the U.S. House. And, she still went. I'd be terrified. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken resists to recognize the Russian Federation as a state sponsor of terrorism, the New York Times. Despite the fact that the U.S. Senate adopted the relevant resolution, the head of the American diplomatic department is worried that this will complicate diplomatic relations with Russia, even at a minimal level. Complicate what diplomatic relations? What diplomatic relations are you trying to have with Russia, Anthony? I don't know. It's so funny to me that everyone's excuse is always, it's going to complicate their relationship with Russia. First of all, nobody cares. Nobody cares if it's going to complicate the relationship with Russia. You shouldn't be fostering any relationship with Russia to begin with. It's literally a state sponsor of terrorism. Second of all, why is everybody always tiptoeing around Russia? That's why Russia keeps doing what they're doing. Because everybody is just tiptoeing around them and they're all like, oh my God, no, what if Russia gets mad? This is genuinely exactly why Russia doesn't take anybody seriously. Photo of the railway bridge in Kherson damaged by HIMARS MLRS missile strike. Operational Command South reported that it was now impossible to move along this path. Only the dam of the Kharkovskaya hydroelectric power station remained for the retreat of the invaders. I was wondering why there was so much. Yeah, there is no diplomacy with a madman and with a state of zombified people, genuinely. So, this is the portion of the bridge that was destroyed by HIMARS that leads to Kherson. Russians can't move through it anymore. Updated map of the situation in the east of Ukraine from European war experts. In their opinion, in the north of the Kherson region, the Ukrainian military continue to achieve some success in reclaiming their territories. Fighting is now taking place on the outskirts of Vysokopilya and Novopetrivka. We're waiting for official information from the general staff. Мамо, тобі тут якийсь мужик каже, скажи своїй мамі, що я тебе люблю.
Мене?
Ні, мене. Закоханий в мене мужик. My mom says, tell them you're married. Which I am, which is what she means. Mom, you should have told me to tell them that you like your son-in-law. You should have told me to tell them, що ти любиш свого сина, цього. Як воно називається на українській? In-law. Yeah, but на українській? Ага. Зять. Зять. Так. Ну, ти любиш свого зятя. Ну, так зять, та. Тато ж Лені хто? Зять? Gazprom stopped supplying gas to Latvia. Latvia is accused of violating the conditions for the selection of gas. The day before, the Latvian gas company, Latvia's Gaz, announced that it was buying gas not from Gazprom, but from other suppliers and for euros, not rubles. Footage of yesterday's exercises in China appeared on the network. Hi, Walasi. The footage shows a mass launch of MLRS in the direction of Taiwan. Eyewitnesses report that some rockets almost reached the island. That's crazy. So China was doing MLRS exercises, and they launched them towards Taiwan, and some of the rockets almost reached the island. Okay, so Taiwan lifted fighter jets from Chiayi Air Base, according to the media, and that's Nancy Pelosi's plane. In China, they noticed the dispatch of PHL-16 MLRS to the province, which is only 180 kilometers from Taiwan. It is specified that this MLRS can fire different calibers, 300 millimeter, 370, 380, and 750. Taiwan just deployed air defense systems at Taiwan International Airport, a civilian facility. Israeli media outlet Terror alarm. Ooh. Footage of nighttime shelling of Nikopol by the Russian army. Here's what that looked like. Yeah. So this is the shelling of Nikopol by the Russian army. Oh, wait. I paused it at a very, wait. You'll see. Phosphorus. Phosphorus. And that's nighttime shelling of Nikopol. As of 9:10 a.m., it says that the identity of the Russian who tortured Ukrainian prisoners of war has been established. The commissioner of the Verkhovna Rada of Ukraine for Human Rights, Dmytro Lubinets, said that processes have already started in which this criminal will not be able to feel safe even on the territory of Russia. We have everything, absolutely everything about him, even about his relatives. In a legal sense, requests have been sent to our international affairs officers. There is already a reaction from them. They have also launched processes in a legal sense. Thank you, Nazar, he said. Yeah, military intended munitions. I'm so sorry to hear that you're мені дуже шкода, що з вашим татом все в порядку. So Olga M is saying that those So those phosphorus shells that I was just showing you in Nikopol, her dad lives there. I'm so sorry to hear that. Is your dad okay? Все с вашим папой в порядке? Hi, Walasi. Hi, Pamela. Oh my gosh, Pamela, really good to see you. I'm sorry. I saw you commenting and then it hit me that you're here. Ukraine has not yet received the lists of the dead soldiers in Olenivka. At the same time, the Commissioner for Human Rights of the Verkhovna Rada Dmytro Lubinets has already requested the return of the bodies of the dead soldiers. Relatives should contact the Red Cross directly, he said. The Ukrainian authorities so far have only figures regarding the dead and wounded. Lubinets also asked the Red Cross to help get to the crime scene in Olenivka. A little later, on the air of a telethon, Lubinets said that the Ukrainian side had officially launched the procedure for returning the bodies of those killed in Olenivka. The UN is ready to send experts to investigate the attack of the colony in Olenivka. In connection with the recent tragedy at the Olenivka prison, we are ready to send a team of experts capable of conducting an investigation with the permission of the parties, UN Secretary General Deputy Spokesman Farhan Haq said in a comment to Russian media. Да, с ним все хорошо, один дом разбит, и 15 получили повреждения. So Olga says that her dad is okay and that one house is damaged and 15 have been one house is beyond repair and 15 have received damage in Nikopol. Oh. Crap. Okay. The Ministry of Murder of the Russian Federation published the lists of the dead Ukrainian soldiers in Olenivka. Okay. So, Mom, Росія виставила списки по... Та. Але Прокопенко Ігор Ігорєвич, це не є Денис Прокопенко. Там ж командир Денис Прокопенко, правда? Азову. Okay, so there is someone by the last name Prokopenko who is dead, but it's not. I don't think it's the commander of because his name is Denis. Okay, Назар каже, що Назар це один з моїх модераторів. Він каже, що це не він. Okay. Ukrainian Foreign Ministry spokesman Oleg Nikolenko reacted to the morning tweet of the Russian embassy in Britain. Read this when you are told that Russia cannot be isolated. There is no difference between Russian diplomats calling for the execution of Ukrainian prisoners of war and Russian troops doing it in Olenivka. All of them are accomplices in these war crimes and must be held accountable, Nikolenko wrote. They did the same in Syria, dropping white phosphorus on civilians is just another war crime. Yeah, they do it everywhere. I mean, that's just them. They're a sad, pathetic excuse for human beings. Reported strikes in Chuhuyev. 2 columns of smoke rise above the city. Local media report of cluster bomb attacks. In Baghdad, protesters broke into the building of the Council of Representatives Parliament of the Republic. They're demanding the dissolution of the government. The police used water cannons and tear gas. As a result, at least 22 people were injured in Baghdad. At the time of the assault, there were no politicians in parliament. The demonstrators sang, danced, chanted slogans, climbed out onto the tables of the deputies, and waved Iraqi flags. In Iraq, the crisis continues around the formation of a new government, which began in October last year when parliamentary elections were held. The election of a new president of the republic is also postponed. It is reported that partisans undermined the railway in the village of Kamysh-Zarya, Zaporizhia region. This was the way of logistical support for the troops of the Russian Federation. So in Zaporizhia, our partisans have undermined a railway, so Russians can't bring their logistical support in. Oopsie doopsie. Norway donates 14 Iveco LAV-3 armored patrol vehicles to Ukraine. Those vehicles have good mobility and protection and are of the same type used by the Norwegian forces in Afghanistan. Russia is increasing the presence of military equipment on the border of Ukraine near Kyiv region. Images from the Planet Lab satellite. The photographs show that some of the equipment is transported by rail and brought to the village of Sobolyevka in the Belgorod region. Sobolyevka? In the Belgorod region of Russia. According to military experts, in the future, the Russian military may use this equipment, in particular in the Izum and Slaviansk directions. On July 28th, the satellite recorded an increase in the number of military equipment and personnel of the Russian army in the village of Sobolyevka, Belgorod region of the Russian Federation, compared with the image from space of this area on June 19th. The state will introduce mandatory evacuation of the population from the non-occupied areas of the Donetsk region. In the Donetsk region, there is absolutely no gas supply. They have repaired all the gas pipelines that could be repaired, but unfortunately, the enemy again and again destroys everything that could warm people in the winter. There is no proper power supply. In a word, there will be no heat in the Donetsk region in the winter, explained Vice Prime Minister, Minister of Reintegration of the Temporarily Occupied Territories, Irina Vereshchuk. The 33rd article of the Code of Civil Protection of the Population speaks of such a form of evacuation as mandatory. I believe that this is a responsibility of every adult family member. There are 52,000 children in the Donetsk region. They need to be evacuated. They must not be exposed to mortal danger in the winter without heat, light, without the possibility of heating, she stressed. 8 more self-propelled crab guns are ready to depart from Poland to Ukraine. In addition, another exercise for the soldiers of the Ukrainian army who will control howitzers is now being completed in Poland. The Russian invaders do not stop inflicting air and missile strikes on military and civilian targets on the territory of Ukraine. The main thing from the summary of the General Staff on the evening of July 30th. For us, the step does not bring significant changes. This is how Latvian Economy Minister Ilze Indriksone commented on Gazprom's decision to cut off gas supplies to Latvia. According to her, the country has not counted on Russia for a long time and prioritizes flows from the Klaipėda terminal. Good. The United States is in the process of purchasing the Norwegian NASAMS air defense systems, which will be delivered to Ukraine. Also, incredibly good. In July, the United States announced a new $820 million military aid package for Ukraine, which includes 2 batteries of Norwegian NASAMS anti-aircraft missile systems. Member of the British Parliament Chris Bryant called for the expulsion of the Russian embassy from the country. Such a reaction was caused by a tweet of Russian diplomats about the execution of Azov. This should be illegal. This is a call to war crimes. It's time for the UK to send the entire Russian embassy back to Moscow. Liz Truss, what are you going to do? He wrote. That's great. Honestly, yes. Why do Russian embassies still exist? So here is a fun thing. So Russian people who already had visas are being let into Europe no problem now. So Russians go into Latvia, or they go into Belarus. From Belarus, they go into Lithuania or something like that. Well, not really. Well, from Belarus, they basically have to go through 4 countries, and it's an over 24-hour journey. But they can get to Europe because Anastasia has a former friend that she's not friends with anymore, but she unblocked her on Instagram to sort of see if the friend had awoken and said something about the war, and she didn't. But what Anastasia had noticed is that also to everybody who's following this account, this is my backup account, and I'm only doing news on here up until the 3rd of August. And normally I do news in my main account, which is Yulia without its. So if you'd like to continue receiving the news, I have a YouTube, which is Yulia without its. And I also have my main TikTok account is the same thing without its. Hello, I'm Slava John. Welcome to YouTube. And so basically they went to Milan for a girls' trip, and they had to travel through 4 countries, but they went to Italy easily. They had prior visas and nobody had rejected their entry, which I think that Russians who already had visas should be rejected entry anyway. What do you mean? There are no flights to Europe and you're not letting Russians in, but if they have visas, that's fine. What do you mean? Those are still Russians. Luhansk partisans burned down the railway control junction box near Svatovo. This night, good people destroyed the locker of the railway control near the occupied Svatovo. Unknown patriots burned the junction box that controls traffic lights, crossings, and the very power of the railway also depends on it. Previously, the orcs used the Luhansk railway to transport ammunition to the front. So our partisans are doing an amazing job. Chinese air defense systems spotted on their way to Fujian province, neighboring Taiwan. From August 1st, the invaders will introduce special passes in the temporarily occupied Vasylyevka, Zaporizhia region. According to the mayor of Melitopol, Ivan Fedorov, such documents will be needed to leave the city. Yeah, exactly. The visa should have been revoked for Russians. To leave the city. He added that the queue of those wishing to leave the region is growing, and the Russians let only 200 to 300 people only let 200 to 300 cars pass every day. Melitopol has already left about 60% of the inhabitants. The queue does not decrease. As of the morning, there are more than 800 cars and more than 4,000 people. The Russians changed tactics several times. If earlier they let Vasylyevka out at 15:00, at 17:00, now in the morning, but no more than 200, 300 cars a day. 2 days ago, they started making copies of all passports. Yesterday, they said that from Monday to leave the occupied territory at the commandant's office, it would be necessary to take special passes. Joe Biden tests positive for coronavirus again. It has only been 3 days since his recovery. What?
Hey folks, guess you heard this morning I tested positive for COVID. But I've been double vaccinated, double boosted. Symptoms are mild, and I really appreciate your inquiry and concerns. But I'm doing well, getting a lot of work done. I'm going to continue to get it done, and in the meantime, thanks for your concern, and keep the faith. It's going to be okay.
Oh my gosh. It's COVID rebound. It wasn't tested in the vaccinated, so it sometimes bounces. Oh, I see. Interesting. Russia intends to completely dissolve Ukraine from the map of the world. According to U.S. Ambassador to the UN, Linda Thomas Greenfield, there are growing signs that the Kremlin is laying the groundwork for an attempted annexation of all eastern Ukrainian regions, as well as southern Kherson and Zaporizhia regions, for the purpose of holding sham referendums or decrees to join Russia. She also reported that Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov even said it was a Russian military target. Latvian Foreign Minister Edgars Rinkēvičs called on the EU to recognize Russia as a state sponsor of terrorism. He condemned Russian atrocities at Olenivka and pointed to the need to ban Russian citizens from issuing EU tourist visas. Yes. And revoking visas. Let me see if Evening Address of Zelensky was published today. Oh, weird. No, okay. So, Evening Address of Zelensky. We are not Russia precisely because every life is important to us, and we will use every opportunity to save as many lives as possible and to limit Russian terror as much as possible. At this stage of the war, terror is the main weapon for Russia. And that is why the main task of every Ukrainian, every defender of freedom and humanity in the world is to do everything to isolate the terrorist state and to protect as many people as possible from Russian strikes. I'm grateful to everyone who fights for Ukraine, grateful to everyone who saves our people from Russian terror. Fenner Bonds will not apologize for chanting La 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 Vladimir Putin during the match with Dynamo Kyiv. The president of the club, Ali Koch, said that the team will not apologize. He will name the reason for this later. Moreover, Koch believes that the Ukrainian ambassador should apologize to the club. The position of Turkey and the Fenerbahce regarding this invasion is clear. What is this position? Whose side are we on? We have Ukrainian and Russian players, he said. Oh. Oh. That's... No, they should apologize for that. That's clearly to, like, dim our spirits. Russia forms volunteer battalions to send them to Ukraine. According to CNN, 85 constituent entities of the Russian Federation received orders to recruit volunteer battalions. This is done in order to avoid the announcement of partial or full mobilization in Russia. According to current estimates, more than 30,000 volunteers could be mobilized. Pope not ruling out early retirement. The pontiff, who is 85 years old, said he could no longer travel at the same pace as before. In recent months, Pope Francis has been using a wheelchair due to a fracture and inflammation of his ligaments. The photos show an anchor mine explosion. To the coast in the Belgorod-Dnistrovsky district of the Odessa region, the current carried an anchor mine, which was torn off by a storm and drifted a few meters from the coast. This is what that looks like because it exploded. Виключи. Там, мама, в цьому. Виключи. Там така, як його, там на цій стіні. Ну, ти бачила, так, де? Ні, мам, розвернись, назад, зліва, дивись, наліво, дивись, ні, назад, біля коробки, о. І тобі треба посередині, щоб ця штука була. Off. Russians in Lenivka burned Ukrainian prisoners of war in their sleep, probably using thermobaric weapons. Judging by the images of the Russian war crime scene, it can be seen that there was no strike from HIMARS. Там така, типа, вліво-вправо штучка, кнопочка. Посередині воно має бути. Mom. One sec, guys. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Judging by the images of the Russian war crime scene, it can be seen that there was no strike from HIMARS, since the GMLRS rocket simply would not leave a single intact place in the fittings, walls, and ceilings. The explosion would have torn everyone apart and not burned alive. The most important thing, GMLRS results in a large crater, which we often see in the video with the destroyed occupiers' ammo warehouses. There is no crater there. At the same time, thermobaric weapons incinerate the victims, leaving the bodies unharmed. And the Russians probably locked the door, fired Pro-A Shmel or MPO, a thermobaric ammunition, in through the windows, and then waited until everyone was dead. So, this is Olenivka. U.S. Congress to set criteria for recognizing Russia as state sponsor of terrorism. U.S. State Department spokeswoman Andrea Callan said that the strength of the sanctions imposed against the Russian Federation is great, so the status of a country sponsoring terrorism will not significantly change the strength of the sanctions. Nevertheless, she clarified that the Congress will still establish criteria for recognizing Russian Federation as the state sponsor of terrorism. The invaders are transporting equipment through the temporarily occupied Kherson region. Also, why wouldn't you instead of there's a video from a hospital of those that survived. Yeah, where? Oh my gosh, can you send it to me on Instagram? So I don't understand why instead of setting criteria, they won't recognize it as, like, maybe instead of setting the criteria, just recognize it as the state sponsor of terrorism, because it's quite clear they are. At least 12 fighter jets will start patrolling the airspace over the Baltic countries. The NATO press service reported that patrols will begin on August 1st. Aircraft from Germany, Italy, and Hungary take part in it. Also, let me see, this is all the news that I have for today, but let me see what Nazar sends me, because there is a video from the hospital of those who survived the of those who survived the of those Azov soldiers that survived. So I'm gonna wait on that. And Nazar, just let me know if you send it to me separately or in the group chat, so I know. Let's see, I hope that I hope that those videos are, I hope that those guys that survived are doing okay, and I hope they're minimally injured. Gotcha. Okay. Well, so Nazar has to look for it. I'll post it in the Discord later, and if you guys want to see it once he sends it to me. And for now, this is all I have for today, and I will post some videos. I will post some videos that I had planned, and since no one else is here, but when you read the Biden one, anti-vaxxers showed up. Really? Interesting. I want to know someone survived. Me too. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of them that did survive, but also a lot of them that didn't. But I will put it in the Discord. Thank you guys for listening to the news. I am going to have to go because my mom and I want to go walk Cindy at the. Oh, Cindy! Look, she was following you. Because we need to go walk Cindy and take her to like a pier so she could, we want to take her to a like a little waterfront promenade thing. My brain is goodbye. So I woke up very early today, despite going to bed at my usual terrible time. And so I am ready for bed, but I need, we want to go on a walk. So I shall see you guys. I shall see you guys tomorrow. And thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Don't forget to check out LTK in my link in bio, because it's a cool platform where you can shop things that you've asked me about before. If you're not signed up yet, sign up. That'd be great. And thank you guys. See you later. Have a nice evening. Bye guys on Twitch and YouTube.